Yeah, that's me in the comments. I just didn't switch over the page. So United Cajun Navy, I have access to their stuff as well, and my page and my wife's business page. It's yeah, I've got too many. So it's me. If you see any of those, if you see United Cajun Navy, Louisiana Promotions, Nick Miculus, or of course meteorologist Nick Miculus. It's all me. I got the coffee out here. Thunder woke me. Actually, Thunder didn't wake me up. You know, my cat came in and she'll sometimes meow, sometimes whisper to me. And today she whispered at me when I was like, I'm laying there kind of in a daze, and it's Thunder. I hear just a distant rumble, and I think in my head she's telling me, "Hey, Dad, there's some weather out there." So this is what it looks like out there right now. There we go. 73 degrees. We've had one heavy shower at the house, 0.06 inches of rain. So it was heavy, lasted about a minute. But I did want to go over, before we dive into the full-on show here, figure it is time to look at radar. And this is why it's loud here. We have a lot of lightning going on with these storms, and this one's about to kind of overtake Alexandria. You can see here as we get in closer, that's the traffic circle right there. This is right there up at that, what is it, 165, where it meets up with, where MacArthur meets up with, like, what is that, Bolton, something like that. So anywho, we do have those showers and storms coming down from the north. We have more out to the west, and it looks like we're going to see an off and on kind of rain today. It's just tough to say exactly what you're going to see at your specific location. Got a line of storms working across Sam Rayburn. These should impact Toledo Bend, at least the southern half later. So if you are out on the water, I would say today's not the greatest day, but don't worry, we have plenty of good stuff coming there. And then, of course, after this all, we're going to dive into what will likely be Hurricane Helene very shortly, if it's not already, because that aircraft's in there, and that thing is looking absolutely nasty right now. And it looks like that is really going to increase in intensity. Yeah, they're about to make another pass through the center. They're coming right across that northeastern tip of the Yucatan. So I'll be watching that as we go through this stream. But yes, we do have storms in the area. There's actually a marginal risk for severe weather, mainly along the southern flank of this, and then for the rest of the southern half of the area today. So you might see a warning. We had one up there, I believe it was in Caldwell Parish yesterday, and it looks like we could see a couple more warnings today for some isolated, brief, severe thunderstorms. I'm not worried about any sort of big outbreak or anything like that. But let's go over, check the Alexandria cam once again. There comes that rain and lightning and all that stuff. I did see some lightning earlier, but you can see the showers are about to overtake MacArthur Drive right there. That's our view that we're seeing there. You can see the Sherwin-Williams building. Spirits is down in here somewhere. And yeah, those thunderstorms, those are going to come across the area. We could see more throughout the day. So if you do have plans to go out and do some stuff, you might run into some storms, and you might want it, because I don't see much else coming in the next couple of weeks. Whoops, why is that one old? It was fine just a bit ago. Huh, that's very weird. All right, well, we'll have to check on that. But yeah, the Toledo Bend camera was fine when I checked this a few minutes ago. So we're going to pull a different camera in here, see how Natchitoches is looking. That's what it looks like there. See, that one's good. See the clouds moving along at a quick pace. So yeah, we'll jump on in here, take you through the tour. That is what it looks like out in Natchitoches. Here's the broad view on that radar. Already seeing flood warnings pretty near where the landfall point's going to be for future Hurricane Helene. Showers and storms along the front. That's actually this whole mass of activity here. This is what's going to sweep this thing, coupled with that high pressure. You can actually kind of see the flow there, southwesterly here, southeasterly here. That converges that flow right onto the Florida Panhandle. Unfortunately for them, it looks like it is going to be a destructive hurricane. At least I think a Category 3 could be higher than that. Day planner for today: scattered storms in our area throughout the day. We're going to be about 83, 84 degrees for your high. And here's what Futurecast looks like. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now I see the comments. I was all thrown off today. Did your son? All right. Here we go. Showers and storms through the area for today. Scattered stuff until the evening. And then I think things are going to kind of break up and move to the south. And we are going to see no rain for a good long time, but we're going to see some really nice weather, I think, for several days. Marginal risk for severe weather, mainly south of a Faraday to, let's say, Dry Prong to Anacoco line. And we could see an isolated damaging wind gust, perhaps some marginally severe hail out of this, but it's going to be isolated. Most of you will avoid it. Hey, if you do see hail damage, Who do you call? Igloo Roofing. 318-731-3088. They've got you covered. You got to get a hold of them. I know the owner just got married, but I think they have the team in place to go ahead and take care of that. But congratulations to Jason and Misty on their nuptials. All right, let's go ahead and move on into what is going on with this hurricane. With this, I'm tired of saying future. I wish I didn't have to say that, of course. But look at this thing. That is an absolute explosion of thunderstorms here over that center. They have planes in there right now, and I'm just keeping an eye on things to see if they go through and see if it looks like we're going to see a hurricane. But if this is not a hurricane at the 10 o'clock advisory, it's going to be a hurricane later today, and I think we're going to see rapid intensification because it looks like a core is developing there, and that's the key to getting these things to rapidly intensify. And the thing is here, when we look at model data, I mean, it does not get more agreeable than that. Like there's probably about a 50-mile span on landfall, and then it kind of signs its signature in cursive there and gets on out of here. But this system is going to make landfall in the panhandle of Florida. It's probably going to come up and create a lot of storm surge problems right up there into that Big Bend area. And I'm going to take you on a track with the wind here in a little bit and show you where we're going to see those strongest winds. But the path, the actual forecast path, not surprisingly, is going to take this right up over the panhandle of Florida, right over around Tallahassee. Obviously, Tallahassee not right on the beach, but it is going to come inland in that area and still be producing hurricane force winds that far inland because it's moving very quickly here. Now, I think it's probably going to be moving about 15 miles per hour after it makes landfall. So this is going to be some Michael level speed on the forward speed. Now, is it going to be as strong as Michael? I can't rule it out. I obviously, the official forecast is category 3, but with rapid intensification, it's tough to say exactly where that ceiling is going to be. But this is the Barron model showing us what the winds are going to do. It's a huge wind field. It's like 400 miles across when this thing comes up into the Gulf of Mexico. And so we're seeing here, tropical storm force winds possibly on the eastern shores there. So they could even see some coastal flooding. But the stronger winds are going to be confined to the Gulf side of things here. So tropical storm force winds tomorrow, possibly by the early afternoon on that western coast. Then we come up to around that landfall point just south of Tallahassee, and you can see some Cat 3 blobs in there. That would mainly be over water, but you can easily see some Cat 2 there at landfall. And again, this is assuming this comes inland at about 120, 125 miles per hour. It's possible this is going to be stronger. I kind of lean that way. And then we go inland. And this is what's interesting here. Again, still seeing there's a lot of interesting things that are not good news, but we still have category 1 hurricane wind gusts on that northeastern flank. So possibly up toward Macon. I can't rule it out in the southern suburbs of Atlanta. So there are going to be power outages all throughout Georgia, obviously through a big part of Florida. And then that center comes up right over Atlanta, it looks like. And so we'll still see tropical storm force winds in Athens, Gainesville, Roswell, all over Georgia. You name it, it's pretty much going to, they're going to see some issues there. And then that center becomes more diffuse as it heads up into Tennessee. But by then the damage will be done. And it looks like this significant system is going to cause some big problems. Again, not only at the coast, not only in the panhandle, it's also going to be across the peninsula of Florida. Tampa Bay could see 6 to 9 feet of surge, and they won't be very near the center, but it's a broad center. Low pressure is going to be... So there's really low pressure in that center right now. Typically, this would be tied to a hurricane, but the environmental pressure is pretty low, and that shows me that we're going to see that circulation really expand out and become large. So there's going to be a large area of storm surge. There's going to be a large area of wind damage, and this is not only going to be big, it's going to be intense. So big problems across a lot of areas to our east, and then flooding rain possibly even into like southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas. For us here, we've got the thunderstorms right now, but that's about it. So we're not going to see a ton of rainfall. Our 7-day forecast shows that, yes, we have rain chances that are high today. After that, on the wraparound backside of what happens with Helene, we could see a sprinkle or two Friday or Saturday. I don't think we'll see much of anything if we do at all. So we just went with 10% there just in case we see a few showers, especially in our northern parishes, and then mid-80s, low to mid-60s at night. I hear it raining again. Yep, that storm is here. We'll take a look at radar on the way out here. And then, dry conditions October 3rd to the 9th. It looks like I don't see much of anything coming in here to start October. And temperatures around where they should be, maybe a little bit warmer. Northeast Georgia, here's the problem with that. And yeah, I see you're at, I'm going to actually pull up another map here. So Northeast Georgia, first off, I see the Kentucky question too. The deal with Northeast Georgia is you have mountains up there. So I think they could see some flooding issues as well. Because the mountainous areas, that helps add to the lift in the atmosphere and things like that. So this is my thought process there, and I'm just we're gonna fly on this one, zoom on in. But you see how we have the 7-inch contour there. The legend is up here. So 7 to 10 inches of rain for most of northern Georgia, and of course near the landfall point, but some 10+ inch rainfall totals, maybe even 15 in the mountains up there. So that's where we're going to see those heavier rain totals. So I think they'll see some wind, they'll see some gusts for sure, but that very heavy rain, it could be some destructive flooding out there in the Smoky Mountains of western North Carolina, western South Carolina, northwestern South Carolina, and northeastern Georgia. So that's the problem there. Now, Louisville, they're going to most likely see a lot of rain out of this. You said the Louder Than Life Music Festival, Thursday through Sunday. That is not great. I think we're going to see a lot of rain. I would imagine most of that is going to be in the Friday to Sunday time frame. So, yeah, not looking great. Orlando, I don't think we're going to see damage to the theme parks or anything like that. In fact, it looks like Orlando's kind of in an area here where we're not going to see the highest of rain totals because they're going to be a little far removed from that center. Now, that being said, they could be under that threat to see a few tornadoes out of this with some scattered supercells that we'll see on the eastern flank of this very large system. Again, we're looking at probably 400 plus miles across for the center. And when I say that, I'm talking sustained tropical storm force winds. So a large part of the Florida Peninsula, most of the Panhandle east of Pensacola, so pretty much everything. And then, of course, the big storm surge flooding in those areas as well. Let's see if we have the excessive rainfall map. I'll just kind of freestyle it and pull maps up. But yeah, they've gone now tomorrow with a high risk of flash flooding as this system is going to come inland, and then we're going to see that in any of those mountainous areas, there could be some destructive flash flooding there. It's moving fast enough to where, again, we're not going to see like Harvey or Allison level rains out of this, but we are going to see in those mountainous areas some very heavy rainfall and the potential for some destructive flooding. So it's a big storm. It's going to be causing a lot of problems out there. And yes, there will be a tornado threat along and east of that path. All right, so let's go back closer to home. We'll take a look at what we have on radar because I hear it dumping rain outside. Things are kind of stabilizing to the northwest. We do have the showers and storms right over my house right now, which I know that's what you're concerned with, right? But out toward DeVille, Ball, seeing those rain showers and storms, maybe getting a little rain out toward Acme, Natchez, those areas, and some light rain. Somebody said something about not getting rain. Dark in Gina, but no rain. You should be getting some sprinkles, but that's probably about it. But yeah, that's going to be the thing here. We're going to go from nothing in some spots because remember, there's a 70% chance of rain up to, we could see a couple inches fall in some places as well. Let's see what we've had over the last 3 hours. I haven't gotten to 6 hours. I haven't gotten to play with a lot of these toys lately. But the secondary severe season is upon us. So it looks like our heaviest rain so far has been in Grant Parish, and then we're seeing a few pixels of 2+ inches between Ball and Boyce there, right up there, I believe around Timber Trails, that area. So we've had some heavy rainfall. Most areas seeing less than an inch, but this green is above a half an inch. So yeah, you can see how it kind of ranges from 2 inches just southeast of Winfield to probably less than a half inch in town. So big changes over short distances because we have thunderstorms at play here. And there's a look at it right now. We got the lightning popping out there. Haven't heard a ton of thunder, but I'm up to 0.28 inches of rain. So I was 0.08 when I looked over there just a few minutes ago. We're at 0.28 now. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Northeast Georgia, yes, there will be a bit of a tornado threat, but the flooding threat is going to be a bigger issue. But yes, St. Louis is going to get a lot of rain. Whoa, somebody said 4.5 in Colfax. Woo, those radar estimates are running a little light then. But yeah, I did not expect to see that much. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go over do my thing on the Cajun Navy side of things and talk more about the hurricane, but I think we kind of did the tour here. So have a wonderful Wednesday, and if you are the praying sort, pray for this storm to be a weaker than forecasted thing, because I think we're going to see some long-lasting issues across Florida, Georgia, and then flooding inland as well. So I will leave you with that, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.